Night fam, what we're watching right now is the recent arrest of the most wanted mafia boss in the world. A gangster who has been on the run for over 30 years. Surprisingly, with all of his criminal experience and reputation, what finally led to his arrest was one simple mistake. How did he even manage to remain a fugitive for so long?
Come mai Messinaro Matteo sia rimasto indenne?
And how did the police finally catch up with him? Well, the story of Matteo Messina Denaro is a strong reminder that justice may be delayed, but it will not be denied. You are watching Crime Tales
After Nightfall.
Matteo's father was a senior member of the Italian mafia, and growing up under such a bad influence, Matteo learned how to use a gun when he was just 14 years old. So by the time he was 18, he had become a mafia foot soldier, a henchman with an evil reputation. Diabolic, they called him, a devil. Because anytime he was ordered to kill, Denaro wouldn't hesitate. He even boasted that he killed enough people to fill a cemetery. Even his boss was convinced he was the most qualified to take over the mafia. But the same crimes that made him the head of the mafia also made him a target for the police. He was accused of kidnapping, torturing, and killing a 12-year-old boy, all because this boy's father was going to testify against the mafia. This poor boy was held for 2 years before he was strangled and his body dissolved in acid. He was also accused of the car bombing and assassination of 2 prosecutors. These allegations soon turned him into a fugitive from the law, and even while he was still on the run, he was convicted and sentenced to life in prison for terrorist acts that claimed the lives of 10 people and injured more than 100. And now, 30 years later, he has been caught. And it was discovered that all along, he has been hiding in plain sight in a house close to his hometown and birthplace. A quiet place where his neighbors wouldn't suspect him. One of his neighbors actually said that he was a well-mannered guy who said good morning to him. Matteo also changed his name to Andrea Bonafide, who was one of his childhood friends. But it was this name that finally tipped off the police, because Andrea Bonafide is also the name of a nephew to a former mafia boss. And the final mistake caused by his own doing, as Matteo was forced to seek treatment for a serious medical condition. In the process, his fake name was flagged, because the real Andrea Bonafide was confirmed to be out of the country at the same time. So the police staked out the hospital he was receiving treatment in and arrested him when he showed up. So, even though it took over 30 years for Matteo Messina Denaro to finally be caught, his story reminds us that justice will always have the last laugh, even if you are already the world's most wanted mafia godfather. Because at the end of the day, the guilty may run, but they cannot hide forever.